This is my first time here in Minnesota. It's quite cold. Long way from Nashville. Coming here was my 5th flight this week. I was just in New Orleans the other day. I came to New Orleans. We were there to take care of the family of one of our virtual members who's a part of our Louisiana virtual campus. In fact, one of our very faithful members passed away, and we went to the funeral. As when I got to New Orleans, I decided to check in, go on the elevator, and I saw these tall guys who were in the elevator. I'm like, man, this is so stereotypical, but I've got to ask them, what do they do? So I asked him, I said, hey, sir, what are you guys like on a team, or what is it? He says, we play for the Utah Jazz. I said, oh, wow, that's super cool. I'm not a sports person. So he looked at me like, you don't know who we are? I'm like, I really don't. Then I fly here to Minnesota. I get I check in, I get on the elevator, and again, I see these tall guys. So I'm like, man, stereotypical again, but let me just ask, what do you guys do? They say, we play for the Cavaliers. I said, what in the NBA anointing is happening to me? I then get a text from my friend. Remember, while I was in New Orleans, I was doing ministry. I showed up here in Minnesota to do ministry. That's all I really wanted to do. I get a text from my friend and says, the Cavaliers, they're playing Minnesota. Do you want to go to the game? I said, oh, wow, I've never been to an NBA game, but I'll go. I show up to the game. All I expect to do is to watch the game. I'm just glad to be there. I'm just sitting there watching. Wow, look, this is in real time. And then I realized that Anthony Edwards plays for Minnesota. I said, good God, this is more than I expected. I'm not a teams person, but I know players. I saw him on Netflix. This is really cool. This is better than what I thought it was going to be. All I expected to do was come to Minnesota, be cold, and sit in a hotel and do ministry. I said, this is better than I expected. Then as I'm sitting watching the game, I text my pastor and some of our team members. I said, you all won't believe that I'm sitting at a game. I'm staying at the hotel where the Cavaliers are. We were just at the hotel with the Utah Jazz. And my pastor said, don't forget that there is a member of our church that plays for the Cavaliers. I said, oh my gosh, number 10 plays for the Cavaliers. I'm sitting there thinking to myself, he said, I gave him your number. Go speak to him afterwards. Just let him know. Pray with him. I said, now I get to go talk to one of the players. All I wanted to do was watch the game. That's what I expected to do. I told my friend, I said, hey, I want to go speak to one of the members. I'm afraid that you may not want to stay that long, but if you don't mind, can I go? He says, oh, don't worry. The tickets that we have to come also come with the opportunity to go and talk to the players after the game. All I did was expect to show up to the game. Then I'm sitting there watching the game. I said, hey, y'all, I really want to get me an Anthony Edwards shirt. I'm not a basketball person, but I love to take that back to Nashville and make everybody jealous. I'm going to go get me a shirt once everybody is seated and waiting to finish the fourth quarter. My friend showed me a text and said, oh, I got a friend that works for Anthony Edwards. They're going to send you some stuff. I said, what in the world is happening? Then I said, well, let me stay seated. But because I stayed seated, there was one of the workers. She was walking down kind of looking for some people. Then she stops by me. She says, hey, here are 2 tickets to go shoot the ball after the game. I said, what in the world is going on? All I did was expect to come and watch the game. But I found out that when you come into spaces to do God's work, then every time you turn around, God will keep making ways out of no way, will give you more than you expected. And can I just tell you today that God is getting ready to give you more every time you turn around. When you believe that God can do it, that there will be miracle after miracle, sign after sign, and wonder after wonder. Because when you take care of God's house, then God will take care of your house.